Hey guys, it's Heather from Tomatoes, Poppies, and Everything Gardening. We're going to head outside and we're going to do the first garden tour of June 2023. And it's my raised, no, it's not. It's my deck, my upper deck and my lower deck, and my containers and my Greenstalks. So I've got 3 Greenstalks, multiple containers on both sections of the deck. And that's what we're going to focus on today. So that is going to be our garden tour, and I hope you'll join me. I've got a couple problems to share with you. Um, so let's get started. All right, guys, we're going to start up here on the upper deck and look at all my containers. And if it gets too windy, I'll just voice over. It's really windy this morning, and but it feels nice. I'm going to do some weeding and mulching today. So right here, I divided that Persian shield that I bought last week, and I put one in this pot. Here's a rose that is a petite white, and I rehabbed it. I don't know if you remember the last deck tour, but it was just twigs. It had no foliage at all. Now it has recovered. It looks great. And my fig is getting big. These are just some projects that I haven't gotten to yet. These are some of the astilbe and corabels that I grew from seed. I need to find placement. I've got some African blue basil that I have taken cuttings from at my friend Ivy's house. The plants that she had in the ground were like the great-great-granddaughters of one plant that I bought 2 years ago. These are some black pearl pepper seedlings that I dug up that self-seeded from last year. Look at that monster. This is an Ace 55. Both exactly the same, both planted at the same time, but this one has just grown really wonky. I don't know what's wrong with it. I think I might have to top it. It's really big. So this is pineapple sage that I dug up from the front yard and put in this pot. The knockout petite rose has a lot of Japanese beetle damage already. There is I think that's California Wonder, maybe, or Lunchbox. I'm sorry, that's Lunchbox pepper. And this is the gypsy pepper. And I'm doing an experiment. I've got it in this little pot to see how well it can grow in a very tight container. It's doing great. It's actually my best pepper. Some little container spicy basil. Look at this cute little planter I got at Hobby Lobby. This is the new ice plant that I got for Mother's Day. This really pretty reddish purple color. This is a Tasmanian chocolate dwarf tomato plant that I just put in this pot like 2 days ago. Another gypsy pepper in a small pot, a little bit bigger though. This will be the 4th time this season I've tried to seed this pot with cumin, and it germinates and then it dies. But our weather has been very mild, very cold, very rainy. Some ginger. More on ginger soon. I'm gonna actually make a video later today or tomorrow on my ginger situation. And so here's one of the problems that I wanted to talk to y'all about. These bare root strawberry plants. I think when I potted these up, and some of them are actually dying. Look at the soil. I had a bag of this organic Miracle Grow I got at Costco, and it is just not letting the water drain at all. I don't know if you can see that. I think I'm going to get some new dirt today, and I'm actually going to repot these and throw out that dirt or use it to fill in holes. There was someone on my local gardening group who also commented on that exact same dirt from the exact same place, having trouble with the water not draining. It's an issue. I'm not going to buy that dirt ever again. But that's just a personal experience from me, for my personal use. I'm not putting the company down or anything, or wanting to get myself in trouble by saying something bad about a company. I'm just saying this is the experience I'm having, which is not good. Here's my dill starting to flower. This is the Tetra dill. I did reseed though. And there's some babies. A little Gerber daisy. And here is the new strawberry bed with a netting because the chickmunks are driving me nuts. Same variety are now in these containers. They seem to be doing pretty good. Here's Mr. Tonto. Tiny bit of lettuce still left here. Ginger. And we'll talk about the ginger at the next video because I got a lot to say about it. Just put some new seeds in 2 of these containers, the 2 on the ends for the lemon, dwarf, cilantro. I need to add some more water though. More strawberries. And my chickmunk literally goes into this hole and he runs between the pots. So Jeffrey, Tonto, none of them can catch him. Okay, so that's it for the top deck tour. Now we're going to walk down. I do have impatiens and 4 pots on the deck. For some reason this one's not doing too well. It kind of looks like it's got some of that same dirt, that Miracle-Gro organic soil. Might have to switch that out too. Okay, so here's an overview of the lower deck. We'll start here. This is the Cora Bell that I divided. And these are some Astilbe started from seed. And so this leads me to the next problem I was going to share with you guys. Not the fern. The fern's doing great. It is these shrubs that are in front of my deck. They've been here since we moved here. They've probably been here since the house was built. So they're probably about at least 30, 40 years old. They have powdery mildew. And they have powdery mildew really badly. They've never been infected this badly. I've never seen them look like this. I don't know if I need to just take them out, which at this point, it's going to be a major job. There's 4. I think what happened, my husband is used to trimming these any time of the year. And because of the weather we've had recently, it was not a good idea. He trimmed them 3 or 4 weeks ago. I think that is when they got infected. Their foliage normally is a glossy, bright green like this. And now they're looking really, really bad. So I think it's just a combination of when they were trimmed, the weather, the rain, the cold nights. Maybe they'll bounce out of it. I don't know. But I'm worried it will spread to my strawberries. Okay, so back to our garden tour. I've got another rose that I'm going to try to bring back to life. It was neglected in too much shade and not pruned. It looks possibly like it won't make it. It's a pretty little rose though, so I hope it does. And then there's that lavender I grew from seed this year. It's looking great. Some Chinese aster still not blooming. And then the beautiful blue girl rose. I keep getting closer as if you guys can smell it. I wish you could. I mean, it is incredible. I'm sure my camera's not picking up, but it actually does have a blue tint. It's a soft lavender rose, but it does have a blue, kind of like a glow to it. And then I'm thinking about moving the sedum into this pot right here. You can tell it's getting ready to get some color to it. This is a sedum that I dug up out of the front yard about a month and a half ago, and it took really well to that transfer. So I think I will put it in that pot or get another rose. Like I don't need any more roses. We'll do the Greenstalks last. Let's go over here and I'll talk to y'all about these guys. So I'm going to start up here at the top. I had a little bit of that dirt left, or a lot. I topped off these two planters, and you can see that these plants don't look happy. They're a little bit pale, a little bit yellow. They look puny. This one's actually trying to put a bud out, and I don't want it to do it because it's so small. I'm going to pinch that off. So I think I need to take out that top layer of that soil that I added and then put in some new soil that will work better, that I trust. Still got some lettuce here hanging on. This is mid-December. No, it's mid-June. It is mid-June, and this lettuce is still hanging on. I've got a pot of dwarf straw flowers I need to go separate. I just put a bunch of seeds in that pot, and they all grew. And they're very thirsty because there's so many in there. I'm gonna like spread them throughout the yard, but they're so easy to grow. Some lamb's ear. This is a hydrangea that can take the sun. And let's see if my frog guy's in there, my little toad. I see him. He has been living here for the last 3 to 4 days. And he just stays here. He never moves. He just stays right there. I don't know why, but he likes that spot, and he doesn't seem to be doing anything bad, so I leave him there. I've got, what is this? Oh, this is a Bradley. 2 Bradley tomatoes in here. They seem to be doing just fine. They're semi-determinate. Pretty happy. I think this is a pepperoncini pepper, and then I've got some lemon thyme there in that pot that's overgrown. This is an indoor houseplant that I just stuck out here about a month ago because it looked horrible, but now it's looking great. Nothing like coming outside. The same for the dragon fruit pot that normally is inside in the fall, winter, and early, well, actually most of spring. It needs warm, hot weather. This is one poblano that got topped, so it split into 2 main branches. It was topped because I dropped it or something happened to it. Oh, I forgot to show you the nasturtium. Isn't that pretty? And there's some in this pot with the fig too that's been doing great. Nasturtium can really struggle in the heat. And look at these tomatoes. So I've got in this corner of my mini greenhouse, I have in that giant pot, which is probably at least 24 inches wide and about 30 plus inches tall. I've got 2 plants. I've got an Earl and a Dr. Witchy's. They are both doing phenomenal. I forgot how big that trellis is, but it's pretty big. So they're really getting up there. This is a Paul Robinson in this pot, the dragon fly trellis to support it. And I was trying to find, oh, there's a baby. There's a baby. But the purple Cherokee right here looks gorgeous. And, oh, there we go. It has got bunches of babies here and there. And it's really looking great. Really, really looking great. So, when we start the next garden tour, we'll pick up right here. But for now, we're going to go ahead. This will be the last thing we talk about are my Greenstalks. I've got 3. They're doing pretty good, but I had to do a lot of maintenance on them. So I'm going to go ahead and transition to a few pictures and tell you what I had to do. I guess it was about a week and a half ago to get these guys looking better, more vibrant, and a little more happier. You can see that things were pretty overgrown, so I had to remove most of that, which was cilantro, and I also had some Roman chamomile that I took out and transplant elsewhere. I literally just went layer by layer. Here's a leaf hopper that was a problem, and also earwig. So those were the two I had to deal with, and I used diatomaceous earth for both. And I didn't water for many days after, so that could do its job. I did have it on my pepper and my eggplant leaves to help get into the joints of those bugs. Here's an after, and I also went ahead and harvested my golden beets, and they were really good. I do recommend those. So let's see the update. Everything's bouncing back after that, that period where I really let things go, let these Greenstalks get overgrown. I had a lot of pest issues, and it was just not healthy. So lesson learned. And I think that this pepper, which is also a gypsy pepper, has recovered. It did not look this well, 5, 6, 7, 8 days ago when I did all the work on the Greenstalks. It barely had any leaves. Maybe 1 or 2 of these big leaves is what it had, but there's a lot of new growth. This is one of my dwarf tomatoes that needs a better stick in there. I'm really thinking about moving my strawberries all to one Greenstalk, but I have multiple varieties in each Greenstalk, so I don't know if I want to do that. I'll put up some screenshots at the end of this video, and you can see what I have in each of these Greenstalks. There's another tomato and another pepper. I'm 99% sure I'm going to go ahead and pull this Brussels sprout. It's just really too late in the season. It's not enough space, and it's not going to be able to grow to its full potential. And I think I'm going to pull this too. I think this eggplant has spider mites. This is a dwarf. It's called Little Prince, and it definitely looks like spider mite damage. So I will probably pull that plant, throw it away, pull that Brussels sprout and just chuck it in the woods. I might leave this little thing to see what happens. It's a pepper. Might leave this fish pepper to see if it can recover. It had been overgrown with pea plants when I didn't prune or remove any diseased plants right before the cleanup, and it was really suffering from lack of light. And I had an earwig problem, really bad earwig problem. But look, these eggplants. So lesson learned, guys, don't let your Greenstalks get overgrown. This is my stevia. And I did not pinch my petunias, so they're kind of wild and wonky. Even though they're supposed to be petite, they're pretty big. So after this flush of blooms, I may pinch back quite a bit. Here's a calendula. It's a pretty one. I think this is Snow Queen or Snow Princess or Ice Princess. And here is my one and only thriving fish pepper. I love the variegated leaves. Here's some ice plant that I transferred and a beautiful snapdragon. So that's going to do it, guys, for this deck container / Greenstalk tour. I hope you will join me in the next day or two as I give you the next installation, which is going to be the backyard and my raised bed garden area. And I hope to see you back. All right, bye guys.